All right. The reason we came up with this topic is because there are a lot of youths out there with all these unanswered questions when they begin their spiritual journey. So it can be very intimidating for them to approach someone like Mataji on their own or any other role models out there that we see to address these questions. So we are very grateful for this platform to be able to engage Her Grace Nitaisevini Mataji in order to ask all these questions, where we hope it will be very helpful for the youths moving forward in their spiritual journey. So, without further ado, please let's dive into our topic. And Nitaisevini Mataji, my first question to you is that we always hear this phrase that we all should always strike a balance between spiritual and material life. So, could you please paint a picture on what that balance would be like for you personally, Mataji?
First of all, thank you, Tasha. Thank you, Navina. Thank you, Hema, for inviting me for your GauraSena inaugural program. I'm very happy to be part of your inaugural program today, and I'm happy that I am still into the youth, and before I get into the old people bracket, I can be part of your programs, and if I can inspire you in some way, I'll be very happy. So, Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayathe giram yat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Dinataran Paramananda Madhavam Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Maharaj ki jai. Yeah, so Tasha, thank you for your very beautiful question. How do we strike a balance between spiritual life and material life? Now, there's a little issue with the question. See, there are no two different lives, okay? A spiritual life, and then there is a material life in which we need to balance. There is just one life, and it has to be balanced life. That's it. We have to have a life which is a balanced life, and a life can be balanced if it has spiritual, material, physical, emotional, economic, all kinds of quotient, everything. If it is in the proper phase, in the proper place, in the proper quantity, then life becomes balanced. And a balanced life can bring happiness in an individual's life. So it's not that it's optional where somebody selects a spiritual life. It is part of it. That is why you see the Upanishads, the Vedas, the scriptures. They talk about dharma, artha, kama, moksha. They don't isolate spiritual. No, they say everything is required, and that makes a life a complete life. You see how Krishna has designed this world. Everything is in this world is proper balance. If you see how Krishna has made a balance in the cosmos, you see the way the planets are, see the way the earth is. The earth, it moves in its own axis. It spins on its own axis, maybe 1,000 miles per hour speed. But let's say if there was a little imbalance, even if 100 miles per hour speed is decreased, then you know what will happen? We will have a day which is like 10 days long, and we will have a night which is like 10 nights long, and then there will be no summer, and even if there is summer, it will be too hot. We will freeze in the night. So the right balance Lord has created. You see the moon. If the moon is even a few inches closer to the earth, the tides will be so high that there will be no landmass. Everything will be underwater. Everything is rightly placed. The distance of the moon, the spinning of the earth, the distance of the sun. Even if the sun is a little closer, there will be no life. So you see, there is a perfect balance in the cosmos. How Krishna has arranged everything. There is a perfect balance in the ecology, the ecological system. Today, if you cut the trees in the Amazon rainforest, the whole world ecological system will be disturbed. Everything is so interconnected, right? It so happened once in China. See, the ladies used to go for harvest. And when they used to go for harvest, what they observed is there were spiders, millions and lakhs of spiders, and the ladies were afraid of spider. So what they decided is, let's get rid of the spider. So they made an arrangement by which they removed all the spiders from the farm. The next year, when the ladies went for the harvest, there was nothing to pick up for harvest, because what the spiders were doing is they were eating those insects which were disturbing the harvest. Now, because the spiders were not there, the insects ended up eating everything, and there was no harvest remaining. You understand what has happened? So then there was no harvest remaining. So how Lord has created this whole ecological system. Jivo jivasya jivana. Every jiva is dependent on the other jiva. Every jiva is a food of another jiva. So you see how Lord has created a perfect balance in cosmos, a perfect balance in ecology, a perfect balance in our physiology also. The human body, if there's a little sugar more, problem. If there's a little sugar less, problem. In fact, I'll tell you one information. A normal human being, in his entire life, he simply needs 1 teaspoon of iodine. Now, this iodine quantity is so important in the human life and the human body that during the prenatal time, when you are in the womb, if a little point nanogram of iodine is less, what will happen? You will become you'll have some mental disease. You will end up having some mental issues. And suppose if the little nanogram of iodine is more, then you'll become a genius. So can you imagine, just a little difference in nanogram will change completely a person's future. So you see what's happening. The Lord is maintaining a perfect balance in the cosmos, a perfect balance in the ecology, a perfect balance in the physiology. Even if you want to, even perfect balance on you see our body, see, a beauty of a thing is because of the balance and not because of the best of the things. Today, if I give you the best of the eyes, the most beautiful eyes, I give you the best of the nose, the best of the lips, the best of the ears. But if they're not balancedly placed in your face, then even the best of the things will look ugly. The whole beauty comes because of the balance, the way the nose is placed in the right space between the eyes and the lips. So everything in this world is balance, and we need to have even balance in relationships. I remember reading a very very funny incident that happened in Japan. In Japan, one wise man, one day he decided. He said, all these people, husband and wife, they're not able to spend enough time with each other because they're all busy in their work. So he decided that why not after 60, those who are, retired, we give them some time exclusively with their spouse. So they came up with an idea of having a free cruise by the government, where the government sponsors a 2-month cruise for all the couples who are above the age of 60 so that they can spend enough time with each other. Now, you know what happened? After 2 months, the government had to officially call it off because the divorce rate in Japan increased like anything. Now, why divorce after 60? Because these people were not used to having so much of each other. All these years, they go for job morning 10 to 5 or 9 to 6, and they meet each other only a little bit time in the evening. So now what happened? They started associating so much with each other, and they came to know so much about each other that they were like, oh, I never knew this person was like that, because half of their life they never spent together. They're always in their offices. And now they were not able to take that much of each other, and they ended up having divorce, and government had to stop it. That means what I'm trying to say is that everything has to be in the right combination. The secret word is the balance. It has to be just right, just like the camera. The camera is now rightly placed. If you too much zoom in, you too much zoom out, you can see only my nose or only my ears, it's going to look ugly. Everything has its beauty when it is properly balanced. Our life, when it's properly balanced, our emotions, our relationships, our life, our health, our body, everything has to be balanced. Now, how do we get that balance? What will bring that balance in our life? Krishna will bring that balance in our life. And I'll tell you one very interesting story. There was some 10 friends. Okay, hear carefully. There was 10 friends, and they all went out for a pilgrimage. They're very happy, very close to each other, a very nice group of friends. Now, when they all went out for pilgrimage, they're going from one holy place to another. One day, they reached Sri Rangam. Now, when they were in Sri Rangam, suddenly that night, that midnight, it was raining very heavily, and there were storms and thunder and lightning. Now, these people, they didn't know what to do. So while they were just walking, because this is walking from one place to another, they just took shelter in a small hut. Now, while they were inside the hut, all because they're trembling, it's cold, and they're shivering. While they were in the hut, what they observed is the lighting is falling very close to the hut, again and again. Now, they were just discussing. They were all spiritual people on a pilgrimage. So they started discussing with each other. lighting is not falling anywhere, but why is it following near our hut only? They're all spiritual, they all discuss scriptures. So they said, yeah, the reason is because among 10 of us, one person is destined to die. So Yamaraj is coming to take that one person. Now, if that one person is staying with us, the rest of the 9 people will also die. See, somebody's time has come, they have to die. And now we are all associating with that one person, so we will all die. So then one wise man said, I know what is the solution. He said, let us play a game. He said, there is a tree, big banyan tree, 100 yards away from the hut. Let us go one by one, touch the tree and come back. Whoever is destined to die, when they touch the tree, the lighting will fall on them and 9 of us will be protected. They said, fair enough, let's do that. So now the first person went. He was very reluctant. I don't want to go. I said, no, come on. Now we all have decided, we have agreed, you have to go. So that one person went. He touched the tree. He was reciting his prayers and he came back. That means it's not me who is destined to die. He was happy. Then the second person went. He also came back safely. The third person went. He came back safely. Now it was the turn of the 8th person. When the 8th person went, he was like, I don't want to go. And they had to literally push him from the hut. Finally, he's like, Rama Rama Jaina Shinga. They finally touched and came back safe. Now there were only 2 more people. And the 9th person is like, oh my God, not me. I have small children at home. Don't do this to me. And they said, look, we all did it. Now you have to go. So he went. He touched the tree and came back. Nothing happened. He was safe. Now you can imagine only one person left. The 10th person, he was crying. Oh my God, that means it's me. Oh my God. Now you have to go. There is nothing, we have to save ourselves. So the 10th person went. And as he took steps, and he went near the banyan tree and he touched the banyan tree. And you know what happened? The lighting fall on the hut and all the 9 people died. And this one person was saved. Now the moral of the story is that one person was destined to be saved. And because of that one person, the rest of the 9 people were being protected. The 9 people thought that because of one person we all may die, but it was other way around. Because of that one person, all of these people were protected. And the moment that one person was out, the lightning fall on the hut and all the 9 people died. Now, this is what is in our lives. Krishna is that one person in our life. When added to our life, he'll balance everything in our life and we'll have a balanced life. You understand? When Krishna is added in our life, everything in our life will become balanced. Our physical, mental, social, economic, everything will bloom, will blossom, and we'll have a balanced life. So to have a balanced life, we simply need to add Krishna to our life, and all the aspects of our life will become balanced. Yes, Tasha, is it convincing to you?
Yes, Mataji, it's very convincing. And as you said, Mataji, you are right. That's just only one life. And very so often we make that divide without knowing it's just one life. And we need to learn how to balance our life with different aspects of it. So the Japan story and the 9 people, that story was also very interesting, just to show that, there is a need for balance. And the last part is also very insightful. So, Mataji, moving on to our next question. Mataji?
Yes, thank you, Tasha Mataji. Mataji, to expand from our topic, we would have come across a lot of youth who often think that a spiritual journey can wait. We will do it when we are older. And in fact, during the very beginning phase of my own spiritual life, when I was a vegetarian and when I was taking Ekadashi, some of my friends asked me, why are you being a vegetarian? Why are you taking Ekadashi? You have so much of time in your life and you can do this when you're much older. So considering the fact that we youth are not so old yet, and this spiritual life, they may seem to be like a thorn in our present enjoyable material life, Mataji. So what would you say, Mataji, if we say, let's enjoy life first, and then later on we will focus on spiritual life, probably when we are in much older phase of life, Mataji?
Very nice question, Hema. So you're trying to say that why not enjoy life now and then follow spirituality later? You can do that, but even to enjoy life, you need to be in the right frame of mind. Let's say, for example, I'm not well. I have fever. And what am I supposed to do when I have fever? I'm supposed to take medicine. I'm supposed to take rest. But let's say if I tell you, I'm busy now, can I take medicine after 15 days? Can I take rest after 15 days? It doesn't make sense. If you have fever now, you take medicine right now. If you have fever now, you take rest right now. There's no point of taking it afterwards. So similarly, we are all suffering. We have a disease. We're not happy, right? We're not complete till we add the spiritual aspect to our life. So what's the point of postponing it? And the problem is, let's say we want to enjoy life, but to enjoy life, we need to be in the right frame of mind. For example, let's say I'm doing Shirshasana, okay, in yoga. Now, when you do Shirshasana, you know what happens? Everything will be looking like upside down, okay? Now, if you are doing Shirshasana, you will see that the whole world is looking upside down. Now, what is the solution for that? Can you just go and make everybody turn upside down because you are not able to see it? No. The simple solution is you straighten yourself, and then you can see the whole world properly. So this is what is the whole process of spirituality. Straightening yourself. We are in Shirshasana. The whole world is looking upside down. Just need to straighten ourselves. So nobody's stopping us from enjoying life. But to enjoy life, at least stand in a proper position and posture to enjoy. As of now, we are not in a proper posture and we are trying to enjoy. You can't eat gulab jamun when you are in Shirshasana. Just straighten yourself and take gulab jamun. That's about it. So nobody is asking you to do any hurry up. Take your own time. If you want to stay in Shirshasana, stay there. But you just said you want to enjoy life. Now, enjoying life and keeping spirituality away from your life are two contradictory statements. Bring spirituality in your life, and then you can actually enjoy life. So that's it. The sooner you want to enjoy, the sooner you get into spirituality. Of course, now you gave me just one example, Hema. You said Ekadashi and this restriction and that restriction. Let me tell you one thing. These restrictions are for our protection. Just like sometimes in a crowded market, there are lots of people around. And the mother, out of concern, love, and affection, picks up the child, in the lap. The child may say, I want to be independent. I know how to walk. Don't hold my hand. I can walk myself. But the mother knows, no, the child has to be lifted up because there's lots of crowd. The child may get lost. This is what spirituality is all about. That so-called restrictions that are there is not to hamper our joy. These are just for our protection. If you do an Ekadashi, you're more healthy. You live long life. If you don't take non-vegetarian food, you will be free from disease. If you attend morning program and sadhana, you will be healthy. Early to bed, early to rise keeps a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. You get up early in the morning, Brahma Muhurta, you get D3 from sun. When you do your japa, your memory power increases. When you have a peaceful and sattvic life, you're happy from inside. And then whatever happens from outside will not make any disturbance in your inside. So basically, if you really want to enjoy life, then you really need to bring spirituality into your life. Then you can be happy. So that's about it. So the sooner you want to be happy, the sooner you bring spirituality into your life. Is making sense?
Yes, definitely, Mataji. Positioning and posture is a very good term that we can highlight here. Thank you so much, Mataji.
So, Mataji, can I just ask, because Mataji said that to enjoy life, we have to take up spiritual life, right? Because it can be quite daunting to take up spiritual life because spiritual life poses a lot of restrictions, Mataji. You can do this, you cannot do that, you can eat this, you cannot eat that. So when we have all these restrictions, like Mataji also mentioned that, it's to create a balance and all that. How if these restrictions are jeopardizing my career? For example, if someone is in a corporate, they work in a corporate environment, so they would have to attend office functions or other functions or parties just so that they can network with other people and find business opportunities. So they would have to mix around, and there would be alcohol, meat eating, and everything. So if they don't go, so they would lose out on opportunities. They would lose out on networking. They would probably not be considered team player, and also this could cost them. This would jeopardize their rise is cold. So how can we reconcile with this, Mataji?
Okay, so what I understand is that you said you have to mix with people, you have to attend the parties. See, it's your own statement, or rather, I would say it's your own definition. There are many people who are successful even without taking liquor. There are many people who are successful even without taking non-veg. So you have to maintain a fine balance. So nobody's asking us to get isolated from people. Nobody's asking us not to mix with people. It's that you just have your immunity around. You have your immunity around, so you don't get carried away by lower energies. At the same time, whatever association needs to be taken or given for a purpose. You are in a job or something. Yeah, you do that, but you don't get affected by that. And that is possible only when you are immune, when you create your immunity. When you are stronger inside, no matter what is happening outside, you won't get affected. So even though you are the best in your job and you do whatever you are, but you won't have to compromise in your spiritual life. It's just that you increase your inner strength, you increase your inner immunity, you increase your inner purity, and then even if you go out there and associate with people, you don't have to compromise on your spirituality. So see, you can just lay down certain rules. Okay, this I can do. Up beyond and above this, I don't do. I don't think it is a fashion that if somebody is drinking liquor and if you don't drink liquor with them, they'll get offended. It can be other way around. When you don't drink, how can they drink in front of you and offend you if they want to be friendly with you? So in fact, I think nowadays it's a fashion. If you don't take non-veg, if you don't,
Peer pressure.
People respect you. No, people respect you if you stand for what you are doing. It's not that the problem is not with people. The problem is with us. We are only very confused what we want to do. And we are confused. So I'll tell you. See, our situation is like that. Let's say today, I want to buy bread and cheese. I have decided I want to buy bread and cheese. So I go to a departmental store. I ask the salesman, okay, where is bread section? I go there, I take bread, I take cheese, I come back home, I'm a happy person. But suppose if I'm not sure what I want to buy, I can spend hours together in departmental store and just go around everything. And then even if the salesman comes and asks me, madam, can I help you? I don't know if I can take his help because I'm not sure myself what I want. I haven't decided. This is what is happening with us. Actually, we haven't decided what we want. We haven't decided if our goal of life is to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. We haven't decided if we want to become devotee or not. If we decide, then everything is very clear. There is no confusion. We know this is our goal. We know we have to pursue it. And then where there is a will, there is a way. All the ways and situations will fall in place. But the problem is, we have not decided. We are still confused. Sometimes we are very inspired to be in spiritual life. Oh, we are so inspired by some lectures, by some speaker, by some motivation, inspirational lecture, by some katha. One day we attended Sunday program at ISKCON Malaysia. Oh, we are so happy. And the other day we attended a grand party at a friend's farewell or something. And then we are so attracted there also. And then one day we attended a workshop in pranayam and yoga. And we are so attracted to that also. And then one day we're not sure what we want. And that brings about a confusion. When you are clear what you want, our situation is like that. Go to a restaurant, you ordered for a French toast with some yogurt and berries, and then on the second table, you find somebody is having a pancake with maple syrup, and you tell the waiter, I think I want to have that. And then the moment the waiter is ready with that, you will see somebody having pasta with white sauce. Oh, no, I think I want that. We're not sure what we want. We keep on changing our orders. This is what is happening with us. We're not sure. One day we want to become very good devotee. One day we think, no, I want to be a devotee, but I also want to be materially good. I want to be. If you are sure what you want to be, things are pretty simple. You can lay down the rules and you can be proud about it. Look, I'm a Hare Krishna and we don't take meat. We don't take liquor. We follow this diet. It's fashion. Oh my God, nowadays there's so many fashion. There are people who are vegan. and they're so proud about it. We're vegan, we don't take this. There's some people who follow different kind of diet. Somebody's following a keto diet, somebody's following this, and they're not ashamed of it. They're very proud about it. Look, I'm dieting, I can't take this. Or they say, look, I'm allergic, I don't eat this food. So what's that to be shy about being a Hare Krishna? I'm a Hare Krishna, and these foods we don't eat. We are a Hare Krishna, so we don't do that. And we have to be proud about it. See, if we are focused, we are sure of what we want, and we go in that direction, things will fall in place. It's not that if you mix with people, then only you can go forward. Krishna has his own way of putting things in place. Just keep your goal clear, and they say in English, necessity is the mother of invention. If you are sure about your goal, you will come out with a way of socializing also, at the same time maintaining your consciousness also. And the word is give association, don't take association. So even if you have to attend those parties, you can always attend those parties, but you give association, you don't take association. That means, see, the whole thing will boil down to your spiritual sadhana. If you're doing well inside, then outside really doesn't matter. Even if you are in a midnight party up to 2 o'clock, if you are strong inside, your sadhana is strong, you're associating with right people, you are doing your japa, you're doing your sadhana, you're hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, even if you are there, duty born because you're working in so-and-so corporate world, you'll not be affected. People won't be able to pull you in their lower energy. You will actually uplift people with your higher energy. So the whole point is how strong you are. So nobody's asking you not to go out there. Just increase your immunity. See, coronavirus is everywhere. What are people doing? Now they have started coming out. If for some time they were in lockdown, but now everybody's come out. But what do? They just wear their mask, and they just sanitize themselves, and they just take some steaming, they just sip some hot water, they're taking something, and they're protecting themselves because they have to go out. How long they can be inside the house? So similarly, when you are having a job, you're working somewhere, you'll have to mix with people, you'll have to talk with people, but just have your mask in place, just have your sanitize your mind, maintain social distance with your mind, with people. Don't let them get too much into you, So that's about it. Just little precautions, and you'll be fine wherever you go, with whomever you will mix and talk. Is it okay? Does it
Yes,
help you?
Mataji, I agree with you, because I think the confusion is mostly with us because we have a lot of peer pressure. We succumb to peer pressure, and that's also because, like what Mataji said, our immunity is not strong, our conviction is not strong. So we wanted to fit in, so we might follow what the others are doing. So like what Mataji said, we should be strong with our conviction, and then we will always find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. So that I understand that, Mataji. Moving on to our next question, maybe Hema Mataji would like to ask something.
Yeah, I agree with Mataji that conviction is something that is very important in our spiritual journey, Mataji. But then again, Mataji, building on Tasha Mataji's previous question on mental health, when we get depressed or disheartened due to some external material factors, in reality, as human, it's always normal for us to lose interest on whatever we do, Mataji. So in that way, loss of enthusiasm is always normal in material life because there is always a rebound. But in spiritual aspect, it may not be so easy for us to find rebound, and that may cause some permanent damage in our spiritual journey. So is there any symptoms that we can be aware of beforehand, or just to prevent this loss of enthusiasm, or we can call it loss of taste in spiritual journey? And how do we actually watch out for the signs, Mataji, the warning signs?
Okay, now as I understand your question, you are saying that sometimes in your spiritual life there is a loss of enthusiasm. So how do we understand that, and how do we rectify it, or what do we do?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, there is the possibility because of association. We are associating with so many different kinds of people, and as I said, there are so many things that keep influencing us if our immunity is not strong, right? So what to do? Associate with the right people and take a lots of, see, like this is a question you're asking me, like what do I do to save myself from corona? So yeah, take Ayurvedic products, so something like that. How do you save myself from Maya, or how do I save myself from a lack of enthusiasm? Just do satsang. Just associate with the right people. I always say this word. Don't associate with like-minded people. Associate with right-minded people. We tend to associate with like-minded people. Like-minded are those who are like us. They're on the same spirituality level, and then if they go down and they take us down too. It's associate with the right-minded people, those who are spiritually elevated, or those are a little better than us, who can take us a little up. Have the right association. Have the right mentor in your life. That's very important. See, nothing wrong in falling and getting up and falling and getting up, because we are learning to walk. We are all toddlers in Krishna consciousness. But if you are smart, you'll have a right fallback options. That means you'll have a right mentor in your life. So get a right mentor in your life, so you know when you fall, you have the right person to hold you. I'll tell you one very interesting story. Chanakya Pandit, when he was teaching a class of students, all were sitting. So he asked them a question. He said, I'm teaching you all, very nice. You all will grow up to become big kings someday. So when you become a big king, whom you will make as your confidential minister, your right-hand man. So one student got up and he said, Guru Maharaj, I will make my best friend my minister. So Chanakya Pandit said, wrong. Don't do that, because your best friend, he knows all your secrets. He'll blackmail you. Don't make him your minister. Then the other person raised hand. Guru Maharaj, I'll make one who is very intelligent. The best person. Then Chanakya Pandit said, don't do that, because you see, with intelligence comes corruption. Because they are so highly qualified, now they'll become corrupt. Then the other person said, then I'll make some new talent, one who is very new, I'll make that kind of a person. Then Chanakya Pandit said, don't do that. They don't have any experience. They are new people, what's the point of keeping new person as a minister? Then he said, okay, I'll give my relatives. No, don't do that. If you keep relatives, they'll try to take favor from you, because they're your relatives. They'll try to take favor. Do something for my son, do something for this. Then he said, okay, I'll just make somebody in this class, who are studying, my Gurukul friends, as my minister. Chanakya Pandit said, don't do that. He's seen you grow up together. Now he'll have no respect for you. Till yesterday, we were playing together and eating together. Today has become a very big king. He'll not respect you because of too much familiarity. Then he said, what should I do? Whom should I make my minister? He was going on giving so many options, and Chanakya Pandit was. Then he said, okay, I'll make somebody who's very loyal to me my minister. Chanakya Pandit said, no, don't do that. If you make somebody who's very loyal to you, then he'll become like a slave more than a minister, because he's so loyal to you. He'll not give you right opinion. Whatever you will say, he'll agree out of love and respect for you. He'll simply. So don't make him your minister. Then they said, Guruji, we are really confused. Whom should we make our minister? Then he said, all these people that you mentioned, right? Make everybody your minister. Listen to whatever they are saying, hear whatever they are saying. But you act only according to the advice of a spiritual guru. Because all these people in your life, they have some exterior motive. They want some favor from you. They want something from you. But a spiritual person, a spiritual guru, he doesn't want anything from you. He wants to give you. So keep a spiritual mentor in your life who will guide you, will give you the right kind of advice. So the same holds good for us. We may be having many friends in the workspace, in college, in university, in neighborhood, outside. But there should be one person in our life, our spiritual mentor, whose shelter we can take. Whenever we lack enthusiasm or whatever happened, they're always there for us. See, the problem in this world is we always want to be good, look good, feel good. People appreciate us, and for that sometimes we start wearing so many masks, because the problem is we say something but we feel something inside. We talk about something but we practice something else, and all this causes so much frustration and masking in our life, because we are not open, we are not honest about what we actually want, what we actually crave for. So there should be one person in our life who knows what we are inside out. That will relieve us so much, because for this outside world there are so many mask upon mask upon mask, but there should be one person in our life who knows the inside inside, what we are inside our heart, what are our aspirations, what is our spiritual level, what we are. And that person, that mentor can guide us. Spiritual mentors are like doctors, you have a loose motion problem. You don't shy away from a doctor. How can I tell the doctor I went 10 times to the loo, to the restroom? Doctor will laugh at me. No, the doctor won't laugh at you. He'll give you the medicine. You have loose motions, he'll give you the right medicine. The spiritual mentor or the guru, he will not laugh at you or your weaknesses. He'll help you. So, this is the best remedy. Every individual should have a spiritual mentor. You take guidance, take association, hear katha, read spiritual books. The spiritual mentor also so many ways. Not all may be having that fortune of having a live spiritual mentor whom you can ask questions. But Prabhupada is our ever spiritual mentor. By his books, he has given us so much information. If we read and dive deep into Srila Prabhupada's books, for everything he has given a solution. So he's our preeminent Siksha Guru, supreme mentor. Through his books, through his Vani, through the Vani of other senior devotees, other Vaishnavas, we can take shelter of them. And that way we can again get enthusiasm. See, in your physical body also, if you feel weak, what do? Take some Glucon-D, mix some sugary drink and you feel instant glucose in your body. Similarly, sometimes there are situations in our life where we feel spiritually very weak. Then what we do? Spiritual Glucon-D is you read scriptures, you associate with people, you hear katha, participate in program, participate in Krishna katha, take shelter of Harinam, do some japa, then you will feel enthusiasm again. Got my point? That is one way to increase your enthusiasm.
Associating with the right people, that is a very true statement, Mataji. Something that I have personally heard, not just in my spiritual journey, but also from my parents while growing up. So what surrounds us is what is eventually what will come within us. And association, especially with a spiritual guru, like your kind self, Mataji, is incredibly imperative in our lives. So moving on, maybe we can have Tasha Mataji for the next.
No, Mataji, I'm still building on with your previous question, right, Mataji? Because when we have mental health issue or depression issue, Mataji said we should find a right guru, and the guru will guide us and bring us to the right path. But what about people who don't have this knowledge? People who don't have the knowledge that of spiritual knowledge, they don't have a guru. There are a lot of people out there who are suffering from this mental illness, and when they are suffering from mental illness, their first priority, their first thought will not be something spiritual. I've gone through depression, so I can say that, because the immediate solution we will think of it will be how to solve that problem, but it wouldn't be something spiritual. So due to this, even existing devotees won't have that strength to continue with the devotional practices, and they might fall from their devotion life. So what is your take on this, Mataji?
So what I understand your question is that if somebody has a mental health issue and they're not yet ready to take shelter of spirituality, then what is the solution for that? Ultimately, everything will boil down to spirituality, but for beginners, at least see, what is a mental health problem? Tell me. Depression is one of the mental health problems. Stress is one of the mental health problems.
Anxiety.
I'll tell you a simple equation of stress. Just like you in mathematics, you have equation. I'll tell you what is the equation of stress. Stress is equal to external pressure upon internal strength. Okay. Now, the external pressure is the numerator and the denominator is internal strength. Now, this external pressure is not in our hand. You can't do anything about it. You can't influence it. What you can only do is increase your inner strength. Now, let's say the external pressure that you are facing is, and the inner strength that you have is only 2. Then your stress becomes how much? 20 divided by 2, 10. That is very high. Now, let's say your external pressure is 20 and your inner strength is 20. Then 20 divided by 20, your stress becomes 1. So the whole point is, all the stress which you find outside, you can't do anything about it. You can't change situations. You can't change event. You can't change people. The only thing, the numerator is not in your hand. The only only thing that you can influence is the denominator. That denominator is your inner strength. If you increase your inner strength, all your mental problems will go away. See, in the outside world, that they are, Arjun also had a mental problem. What is Arjun's mental problem? When he was right there for the war, he told Krishna, Krishna, I can't fight. My hands are shivering. Some modern physiotherapist at that moment in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he would have said to Arjun, oh, your mouth is becoming dry. Let me get you some Glucon-D, some sugar, ORS. Oh, your hands are trembling. Let me give you some massage. Oh, your mind is spinning. Why not you take a little bit rest? Lay down. You'll feel fine. These are the solutions given by the modern physiotherapist. But what Krishna told Arjuna, coward, get up, rise and fight. And he gave him the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. See, this stress, whatever we are, finding in the outside external world, people say, you want to relieve stress, watch some nice movie. Want to relieve stress, put some nice music. Want to relieve stress, eat this. It's not the solution. The solution is increase the inner strength, because outside situations we can't change. Only thing we can increase is the denominator. Then the stress level will go down. You have to increase your inner strength. So I'll tell you, a couple of years ago, there's some lots of NRIs had come here to Vishakhapatnam. So the NRIs, they were not devotees. They had taken shelter, and they had taken rooms in our guest house. So then they were asking our guest house manager, what are the places to see around and all. And they were very much fascinated by Indian street food. So our guest house manager said, okay, on the beach, Vizag is, a lot of, there's a big beach here. Our temple is also on the beach. So there are beach, there are lots of street food available. Now, these people were with an Indian guide. So they all went there, they had street food, and when they came back in the night, they all had health problems, stomach, loose motion, so many things happened. I'll tell you what happened. All these NRIs, all these people who were, outside India, whatever they ate, they all got problem. But that guide, Indian guide, he never got a problem. Now, externally, if you see that pav bhaji or pani puri or bel puri, whatever they ate on the roadside, everybody ate same thing. But this Indian fellow, he didn't get any problem, but all these people got a problem. Now, you can't say the problem is pav bhaji. Problem is pav bhaji, why this boy did not get it. So if you see, the actual reason is these people's immunity power is less. That's why they got problem. He didn't get problem. That's all. Same thing in our life. You can't change situation. You can't say that this person is very happy because his situations in life are happy. No, his inner strength is too strong. So we all face same situations, but our reactions will be different. Different people will have different reaction levels. Why? Because of the inner strength. Their inner strength is such. So you believe in spirituality or don't believe in spirituality, the whole point is you have to develop the inner strength. If you have inner strength, if you maintain proper mental balance, then only you can be happy. Whether your so-called spiritual life or material life or whatever life you are, you have to maintain mental balance, and that comes with inner strength, and inner strength comes with Krishna consciousness. It's all interconnected. So the mental balance will come only with the inner strength. Otherwise, there will be so many situations in your life where you will lose your mental balance. I remember there was one very interesting article I was reading about one man. He had a heart attack. Okay, he's a rich man. So he said, take me to the best of the hospital, the world's best doctor, to get a bypass surgery done. So they took him to the world's best doctor. Now he was inside the cabin with the world's best doctor. Okay. Now how do you know he's the best doctor? There were photos of him with the president of, prime ministers and presidents of different countries. So he felt very happy. This patient, my God, this doctor, the credibility. So many photographs are there. And then he saw on the second line, they were the certificates and degrees. He has done degrees in so many foreign countries. So he had now no doubt that this person is great. And then in the third line, he saw that they were framed opinions of different people who got operation done from him. And they were all so satisfied. So now this person became fully confident. Please wheel me inside the operation theater. I want to get operation done by this doctor. When he was wheeled inside the operation theater, the nurse who was getting things ready told the man, sir, this doctor is very nice, excellent, very famous, perfect, all the degrees. But just 2 days ago, his only son died. So now, he's mentally little bit, unstable. Now tell me, what will happen to that patient? Will he get the operation done from the doctor? No. Now you'll say, Bari Baba, but what about the degrees? What about the photograph with president and prime minister of different countries? What about the opinion of these people? Nothing matters, because now there's some mental instability. So somebody may be very great, but there are events and situations outside in our life, we lose our mental stability. And mental stability is very important part of our life, right? No degrees, no opinions, nothing, no wealth, nothing will help us. We need to keep our mental balance, and that mental balance is possible only when somebody is having inner strength. And that inner strength, the source of that energy of inner strength is Krishna consciousness. Unless somebody is Krishna conscious, unless somebody is spiritual, he cannot have inner strength. Now you'll tell me, how can spirituality bring inner strength? I'll tell you. With spirituality, a person's horizon, a person's perspective, a person's frame, the picture is now larger. See, today, as a devotee, we know that there's so many lifetimes that we've been living. Previously also we were living. After this also we'll be taking birth. So many times we have taken birth. And this particular life is just a very small fraction of our so many lives that we are living. Now when we think in that way, our perspective towards life and situation changes. But if we don't know that, if we are ignorant and we think this is, can you close the door? And if we think that this is our only life, then our perspective to situations and events and our reactions will change, right? So today, I don't like this particular sabji or this particular dal, and I know that I just have to eat it for today. Tomorrow there will be something else in the menu, then I'm happy. But if you tell me, look, 365 days a year till you die, you have to take this sabji and this dal only, that will make me frustrated. But now I know this is temporary. Tomorrow I'll get something else. So when we become spiritual, we know this situation is temporary. Tomorrow I'll have another body. Previously I had another body. This is not permanent. Everything is a passing phase. After day there will be night. After night there will be day. Nothing stays permanently. So when I get this knowledge, now my perspective of looking at things will change. My reactions of looking at things will change. So ultimately everything boils down to spirituality. Because basically what spirituality is not only about chanting Hare Krishna. Spirituality means it gives you a larger view. It tells you what you are, where you came from, where you will go, why is this happening to you, what is happening to you, why somebody is rich, why somebody is poor, why somebody is unhappy, why these things are happening, why natural calamities happen, why this happened, what is karma, what is law of transmigration of, what is soul, what is body, why somebody gets a female gender, why male. All your questions are answered. And then when you have knowledge, what happens when you have knowledge, then you have a right perspective of looking at things. See, with my eyes, I may not be able to see properly, but if I have a proper spectacle, then I can see things as they are. So basically now we are blinded with ignorance. When we are blind with ignorance, we can't see things as they are. But when we have the spectacles of knowledge, then we can see things as they are. So basically, spirituality is the solution for everything. When you are spiritual, when you read books, when you get knowledge, then you have a right way of looking at things. That will help you in your mental balance. That will give you inner strength to deal with your day-to-day life and day-to-day problems. Got it?
Understood, Mataji. Like what you said, Krishna consciousness will give us the inner strength to deal with our material life. But Mataji, I also have one question, because our material journey has a lot of distinct milestones. For example, if I do well at work, I would be promoted, I would be getting a raise, I would probably buy a new car or buy a new house, and I would increase my standard of living, and these are my material milestone rewards. On the other hand, spiritual milestones, they are very vague and it's impossible to quantify. So if today I'm chanting maybe 16 rounds, I'm doing all my aartis right, I'm doing all my ekadeshis, and I'm doing all my spiritual sadhanas right, but 5 years down the line, I'll still be doing the same thing. But what are my rewards in this doing this spiritual practices? Because when we cannot quantify something, when we cannot quantify our rewards, we as human beings are extremely fruitive. So whether it's material or spiritual. So when we are in that place of ambiguity, it can be very disheartening to take up spiritual life. So how can we reconcile with this, Mataji? What can Mataji say about this?
Okay, now what I understand your question in a simple one line is, how do I even know if I've achieved something?
Yes.
I'm just doing my spiritual sadhana and everything right. So, like in material life, I get bonus, I get increase in my job, salary. I know I'm doing better. How do I know in my spiritual life that I'm doing better? I'll tell you one very simple. Actually, I can just give you one line answer, but let me elaborate. When you are hungry, okay. So, what do you do when you are hungry? You eat. You eat food. Now, when I'm hungry, I eat food. Now, when do I know that now it's enough, I should stop? Do I need external help? That somebody telling me that please stop, now you have eaten enough? No. When I eat, I know when I'm full, my stomach is full, I feel satisfied, I'm nourished, and I know I'm done with it. So that's what is spiritual life all about. You don't need anybody's help, any milestone to let you know. You'll understand when you feel satisfied. If you want to know whether you're doing good in spiritual life, just check. Are you happy? Are you joyful? Are you grateful? Have you stopped complaining? What this is the milestone of your spiritual life, when you're grateful about everything in this world. If you want to just check it in one line, if you're doing well, is there anybody in your life whom you want to change? Is there anything in your life which you want to change? Is there any situation in your life which you want to change? Then you still not there. But when you are spiritual, you're grateful about everything. There's no complaining, because you're so strong inside. Your inner strength is so high. You don't want to change anything. You don't want to change anybody. You're happy. You're just happy from inside. Every situation you are ready to face, because you're so rich from inside that there is nothing which can give you pleasure from outside. You understand? When you develop that higher taste, okay. Let me give you one mundane example. I'll give you. When I got engaged to my husband. Okay, now I just hope this is a group of youth, and you will not mind my giving you this example. Yeah, of course, it's very intimate thing that I'm sharing with you all, but I just hope it helps you. When I got engaged with my husband, then we were supposed to get married. Now, there were lots of changes in me. Usually my sister and me, we have a fight over who will sit on this side of the sofa, who will hold the remote when we watch our favorite television serial, who will decide the temperature of the AC, whether it will be 27 or 28. There's always a fight between it. Who will take the bigger chunk of dairy milk? That was one of my favorite chocolate when I was young. And who will get the bigger chunk of it? So there's always a fight between me and my sister over that. Now, when I got engaged to my husband, now he was so much in my mind. That there were lots of change in my behavior. I stopped fighting with my sister over who's going to sit on this side of the sofa. And she was so surprised that, how come Didi's not even asking me that she wants to sit here. When she was changing the temperature of the AC, I'm fine with it. She gets a bigger chunk of dairy milk and she gives me a smaller one. I even took the smaller one and put it in her mouth. I'm fine with it. And she was surprised by the sudden change in behavior. Now, I'll tell you why this change in behavior was happening. Because my husband is so much in my mind. He's so much in my mind. And I'm so much thinking about him. What will I wear tomorrow when I meet him? What will be the color of my dress? Is my hair looking proper? How am I looking? I'm so much into that now these small little things with my sister of, remote control and the dairy milk and the AC temperature doesn't matter. Now, what has happened? You got something higher and you just give up on the lower. And this is what happens. This is what happens in Krishna consciousness. When you start going higher, and then you get that love and reciprocation from Krishna, and you get so much happiness in your daily sadhana, and you're so happy, that small things don't matter anymore. So it's just that you have to become rich. When you become rich in Krishna consciousness, these are the milestones. You can understand when you become grateful. When you just want to love everybody. Now, what happened? Because I'm in love with my husband, now that love is reflecting on everybody. I'm nice to my mother, I'm nice to my sister, I'm nice to my friends, because now I'm in love. The whole world looks so beautiful for me. It happens. And I'm sure you're all youngsters, you get married after some time. You will have that feeling and you will understand. This is what will happen to you. When you fall in love with Krishna, this is what the whole world will look so beautiful. Because you're so happy. You just connected to him. He's your source of your strength, source of
Oh, Mataji is frozen.
complaining. You'll be grateful about everything. You'll have a loving heart. You don't want to change anything in this world. You're just happy with everything that happens with you. These are the milestones. You just acceptance. No expectations. Acceptance. You just accept everything because you think this is Krishna's arrangement. If anything happens in your life according to your desire, you're happy. But if it doesn't happen according to your desire, you're happier, because it didn't happen according to your desire. That means it happened according to Krishna's desire. Because there are only two things. There is your desire and there is Krishna's desire. There is no third person. No third person's desire can affect your life. There are only two things. Either you desire for something and Krishna fulfills it, or it's not your desire, then it's Krishna's desire. So now everything you will look in Krishna's hand. Krishna's hand. This is Krishna's arrangement. This is what Krishna wants for me. When you it will be no more faryad. You will have no complaint. In Hindi they say faryad. Only fir yaad. Only fir yaad. You'll keep constantly remembering Krishna, but there'll be no faryad. There'll be no complaint. So this is one big test. When you don't want to change anything, when you are happy with everything, you are grateful, you accept everything as prasad of the Lord. See, when you are standing in a queue for some prasad, let's say for Charnamrita in the morning after Darshanarti. Now you don't have those expectations. Hope Charnamrita has a little bit more honey. I just hope Charnamrita has a little bit more tulsi. I just hope it has a little bit more rose water. Charnamrita is Charnamrita. There's no expectation. Whatever is, you get it, you're happy, and you take it. That's it. So when you become a devotee, whatever you get is Krishna's prasad. And prasad is a prasad. There are no expectations with it. This is what Krishna wants me to do. This is how Krishna wants me to live. This is how Krishna has planned my life. This is for me. When you start having that kind of a feeling, when you like everything around you, when you're happy about everything around you, that means you are going further. You're going further. We are all part and parcel of Krishna. When we start looking at everybody as part and parcel of Krishna. See, you like a hero or a heroine or a sportsman or an industrialist or somebody very big, what happens? You start digging into his life. What is his favorite color? When does he take his dog out? What is his favorite t-shirt? What kind of watch is he wearing? And you're so happy about it. Same thing, when you are in love with Krishna, you're doing your bhakti and sadhana properly, you're getting more and more attached to Krishna. Now what will happen? Everything that is connected to Krishna gives you happiness. And in everybody you can see part and parcel of Krishna. This particular soul is also part and same Krishna whom I love so much. And this devotee is also part and parcel of Krishna. And this person who is in my job, sitting next to me in the other cubicle, he's also part of Krishna. And this girl is also part of Krishna. And they're also part of Krishna. And I love Krishna. And they're all part of Krishna. So I love everybody. So that's about it. So see, like that, there'll be lots of changes in your life. You start being grateful for everything in your life. You'll be more happy, blissful. Krishna consciousness is an experience by itself. It is not something which somebody talks and you hear. This is something like you tell me about sugar, and I can give you volumes and volumes about sugar, but unless and until you actually taste it, you won't understand the sweetness of sugar. You can read so many things, but it's an experience. Even Srila Prabhupada said that. Once Prabhupada asked it, actually he used to conduct mock interviews with his disciples to make them strong in preaching Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada asked one of his disciples, why do you chant Hare Krishna? And he said, Prabhupada, because you said. Prabhupada said, I'm an old man, I'll say something, you don't have to follow me. Then somebody said, but Prabhupada, because it is said in the scriptures. And Prabhupada said, how can you be so sure? There's so many scriptures. They say Devi Bhagavad, this Bhagavad. Everybody was giving different reasons. And then one disciple said, Prabhupada, I chant Hare Krishna because I enjoy. I feel bliss when I do it. And Prabhupada said, this is the right answer. So yeah, this will happen to us also. When we're going further and further in Krishna consciousness, we're happy. When we chant, we're happy. So these all things will slowly happen to us. It will take a little time. But at the same time, Having said so, if you're not feeling all these symptoms, there's nothing to get disappointed about. See, when the street lights are not on, then what do? You don't stop walking. You just take out your cell phone light or you take out a small torch light and you manage with it till the street lights are on. We don't stop walking. So yeah, when we are just in Krishna consciousness, maybe we may not feel all these symptoms, which are of course are our goal, but then we keep walking with a small torch light till all the street lights are going to be on one day. Just walk with your torch light. So one at a time, take a step one at a time, and keep going and keep going. Keep going, and yeah, Krishna will reciprocate. Just that you need to have faith on him, and he'll reciprocate, right? Slowly go and one at a time and have faith. See, when you're not experiencing, just take hypothesis. Just like in a science experiment, you take a hypothesis and then you work on it, right? Similarly, the scriptures are the hypothesis. The scriptures are there and they said Krishna consciousness is blissful. So have faith, go ahead and do it. See, some things you can't measure every day. Like you can't measure the height of a person every day. Every day I can't measure my son's height, oh, he has grown or not. But after a few years, I'll see definitely there'll be few inches growth. So Krishna consciousness is not something you can measure every day, whether I've grown or not. But you can have faith and keep following it, and then you will see after a couple of years, you can look back and see, yes, I'm better than what I was 2 years ago. Now you cannot understand. You have to do introspection. If you do introspection, you'll understand, oh, there were many bad habits that I gave up. There were many things that I was doing before and I don't do now. There are many things that I used to enjoy before, but I don't enjoy now. So it'll take some time. You need to keep going in this direction, and Krishna will send you some reciprocation and some symptoms to show you that yes, you're doing well. You feel more happy and more blissful and more joyous.
Thank you so much, Mataji. That was a perfect answer for the question. And yes, whether we have stopped complaining or not, that is a question that we have to ask ourselves. And when our point of focus is always on Krishna, that way we will always receive Krishna Prema, as Mataji has said earlier. Also, Mataji, I would like to get a clarity on this very final question. So there was once I saw a Mataji who was explaining to a newbie in Krishna consciousness, basically for them to practice for their own purification. And that Mataji, she was stunned when the person that she was, the newbie that she was talking to, they replied back, what is all this for? I'm a good person by heart. I follow my moral ethics and I have my own good values. Nothing is greater than that. You be good and do good. And that is spirituality. At another instant, I have also seen people saying that I'm a vegetarian twice a week and I go to temple every week. So I'm being religious enough and that defines my spirituality. Like this, many people, they have different terms or different definitions for spirituality. Here, Mataji, what is your opinion and on their take about spirituality, and is it an acceptable point of view?
Okay, now what I understand in your question is sometimes some people they'll say I'm a good human being, I don't hurt anybody, I do my job, so why do I need spirituality? I'm a happy person, I'm not disturbing anybody, nobody's disturbing me, my life is going on. Why do I have to take spirituality? Yeah, okay, that is also one step. So first you become a good human being, only then you can become a good devotee. So in English there is a saying, good, better, best, never let it rest till the good becomes better and the better becomes best. So it's like that. They're good, very nice. Slowly they'll have to become better and then they'll become best. They'll become devotee of Krishna. It's a gradual process. So when somebody says that, you don't argue. You say, yeah, very nice. Congratulations. You're such a nice human being. You're eating vegetarian and you do come to the temple once in a while. That's all right. So slowly we give them prasadam, and as they they're happy with whatever good they're doing, but that they don't know that there's something better than that. They don't know that there's something best. So they're happy. See, like for example, somebody who hasn't tasted ISKCON sweet rice, they will think, okay, just a little, maybe you just put some milk, sugar and rice and it'll be tasting like that. But when they actually eat an ISKCON payasam, they understand, oh my God, they boil the milk and they make it so nice. So sometimes, people are so happy with their lower taste because they never got a higher taste. So they are satisfied completely, But when they get a higher taste, then they understand this was a lower taste. See, for a beggar, Every day you will be getting some stale chapatis and stale rice. He's happy with it. You ask him, he'll say, I'm satisfied. But one day he goes to Mayapur and has a grand, 56 items feast on Bor Purnima. Afterwards, you ask him to take that stale chapati, he'll not like it because now he got a higher taste. So yeah, people around the world, they are in that level only. They feel I'm fine. Why do I need to change? So that's all right. It's good that at least they are good human beings, because even to become a devotee, first somebody needs to be in sattva. If they are in tamas, they can't become a devotee. So from tamas you go up to rajas, and then you become, come to the mode of sattva, and then from there you go to shuddha sattva. It's a gradual process. The plane, it just doesn't fly. There is a runway. It has to go on the runway. So when somebody is becoming a good human being, it's nice. They are in the runway. Sometimes some plane, they are for long time in runway before they fly. So some guru, sadhu, shastra, or some guru or mentor will come in their life, and then they'll take them up high in the air. It will take some time, but at least they're in the runway. That's a good point. So whenever we meet such kind of good human beings who are already doing good, it's very nice. We can slowly cultivate them and give them taste of Krishna consciousness by giving them prasadam, by giving them some books, and slowly they will change because they are already in the mode of sattva. So now there is a very thin line and they slowly elevate themselves. So it's a gradual process. You can't do something to make them the feel and need of Krishna consciousness immediately, because they are in their comfort zone. They are very happy. See, the problem is, I'll tell you, everybody in this world wants to be in their comfort zone. They don't want to do anything over and above that. See, if you ask somebody to take up Krishna consciousness, they're a little bit it's uncertain for them. What is this chanting? What is this they're doing? Why this restriction? What is happening? For them, it's all very new, so it will take time. They are now in their comfort zone. So slowly we give them Krishna consciousness, and slowly they'll come out from there. See, even what to speak about Krishna consciousness today, even if you want to give up coffee and tea, many times, I tell some devotees, stop taking tea and coffee. They'll say, oh, those who are new in Krishna consciousness, they'll say everything is okay in ISKCON. Tea, coffee, very big problem. I'm working in bank, I'm working this. Every 1 hour, if I don't take tea, I'll get headache. Then I tell them, why not you replace it with coconut water? Why not you replace it? Then they say, Mataji, very difficult, very difficult. But I tell them, have patience. The first day, they'll get headache. I'm not able to concentrate on my work. It's becoming so tough. The second day, third day, slowly, now they have given up that. So it takes time. From the comfort zone, suddenly you can't go into happy zone. From comfort zone you go to fear zone. You are so uncertain. What is this Krishna conscious life that I'm starting? I'll be losing my friends, my parties, my movies, my shoppings. What is happening? Why am I getting into this? So from comfort you'll go to fear zone. From fear zone you'll go to learning zone. From learning zone you'll go to growth zone. From growth zone you'll again come back to your comfort zone in Krishna consciousness. Then again devotees start becoming comfortable in Krishna consciousness. That is also not correct. They have to again grow. And Krishna consciousness also, one should not keep sitting in comfort zone. They have to stress themselves a little more and a little more. So it's a gradual process. So we can't expect overnight some changes. If they're thinking like that, that's all right. Give them books, give them association, give them gifts, give them prasadam, and slowly they will come out from their comfort zone. And during those times you need to give them some help, invite them for functions, festivals, and appreciate them, and definitely slowly they will come up and take the higher taste.
I understand, Mataji. This is beautifully said. Like, taking from what Mataji mentioned, the good needs to be better, and the better will definitely become the best with Krishna consciousness. And what we understand is also we should never ever dampen anyone's spirit, and we should all encourage each other, because we will get a better taste of Krishna consciousness, and we will all together, we will move forward in our journey beautifully. So it has been an interesting session with some really amazing perspective by Mataji. So to sum up the session, I would like to ask if Mataji has any advice she would like to give the youths out there who are struggling right now with their spiritual journey. Any last words, Mataji, before I pass the stage back to our moderator?
Those who are struggling with their Krishna consciousness, yeah, that's about it. I just want to say it's never too late. Just start and begin, and don't give up. And just remember that all those experts you see now were also beginners one day. All those masters you see now were also disasters one day, and they all gradually became masters or became experts. So that's it. Just don't give up, and just start and fix up a goal and have the pave out a path, have the passion to achieve it, and perseverance. So don't give up, be in the right association, and fix up a goal. That's my last and first and all time advice is fix up what you want. Don't shy away. If your goal is not to become Krishna conscious, you just want to have a happy material life, that's all right. Don't accept it. Don't lie about it. If your goal is not fixed, you'll always be confused and a frustrated person. Just be very clear. Okay, I don't want to be a devotee. I just want to be materially happy. That's all right. Even to become materially happy, you have to become devotee. That's another question. But at least be clear. No, I want to become pure devotee. No, I want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. No, I want to do this. Just be clear. Share it with your mentor. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to achieve. Then you can start walking towards it. If you don't have a fixed goal, you will end up going nowhere. So don't do that, and never too late. Just begin, thump up your chest, and just be spirited, be in the right association, have a proper mentor, and begin your Krishna conscious journey. And not only begin, perseverance. As I said, see, if you are in a good frame of mind today, you are inspired by a particular lecture today, I would say you are in a good mood. But we're not talking about changing mood. The mood has to be constantly there. Then it becomes a quality. See, today I become very compassionate. I become very nice. I'll become non-envious. I'll become generous. I'll become nice. Okay, because I'm in a good mood. So all this should not be your hobby or mood. It has to be a quality in you. And that will happen when you constantly pursue it. So constantly pursue good habits, constantly be in good association, and don't give up. Don't give up. Even if you don't see immediate results, patience. A tree first has a small bud, then flower, then fruit. If you say, I want fruit just now, it doesn't happen. You sow the seed, the tree takes time to grow up and give you fruits. So start your Krishna conscious process. Yes, slowly reciprocation will happen. Slowly everything will bloom and blossom in your life. Just have patience. Patience is the word. Just have patience and faith in this Krishna conscious process.
That was so beautiful and inspiring, Mathaji. So I'm sure I speak for Hema Mataji as well when I say that it has been an absolute privilege and blessing to be able to have this conversation with you, Mathaji. And with that said, I would like to pass the stage back to Navina Mataji. So Hare Krishna, Mathaji, and thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for that amazing discussion. It's really a rare treat for us to hear from role models such as yourself speaking about these matters. I think it was really quite a hot topic because we had so many questions coming in from the audience. But the thing is, because of the time constraints, unfortunately, we couldn't go through with it. But we'll be sharing Nitaisevini Mataji's Facebook link and also the WhatsApp numbers so that you can directly direct your questions towards her. So we hope that at least there you will have some the answers that you seek for. And moving towards the close of our session today, it is our great honor to invite Mataji to say a few words to inaugurate the GauraSena movement and also to encourage our youth to undertake the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission to spread Krishna consciousness with great enthusiasm. Mataji, if you could say a few words.
Yeah, so I wish all good fortune, all good luck to the members of the GauraSena team. I'm very happy that you all youth have come up with this idea where you want to share Krishna conscious knowledge among all the youth of your own age, and very good. And I just pray to Shri Radha Damodar, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Shri Gauranitai, that you be successful in your mission, whatever your vision, what you are planning in service of Srila Prabhupada. May Srila Prabhupada bless you all and give you the right intelligence and strength to continue this GauraSena team which you have begun with the motive to spread Krishna consciousness. So I'm very, 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 very happy, and I pray that you get all success. Thank you so much.
Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna lage. Sab Krishna, Krishna, Krishna